Less than 5% of the Church of England is aged 16 to 25.
This statistic is worrying us, and we want it to change, so we're holding a massive conference. We're hoping to have 150 young people who will be joined by clergy, youth workers, and both our bishops, and we want you to join us.
We're going to have a day of activities and discussion. This is your chance to give your opinion on how to improve the Anglican Church for the youth.
We are going to discuss what it means to be Anglican, what the problems are with the Church of England, and how we can fix them.
We hope that the Ely Diocese can become one that retains the youth it has, reclaims those that have been lost, and sustains numbers so that we can grow and age together.
At the end of the day, we're all going to sign a pledge to promise our support to the cause.
What do you hope to see for the youth in the diocese?
Well, I want young people in the diocese to feel that they have an equal place with all other Christian disciples, that young people are valued in what they have to contribute in each of our churches and in colleges and in any networks where young people belong. Their voice needs to be heard, and they need to flourish because they're the church of today and senior leaders of tomorrow.
Thank you. What do you think is the most important thing that the Church of England can do to support young people?
Well, I think it's quite a complex of things. One of the things is that young people can appear to be invisible, and therefore young people themselves think, well, what's the point? You know, we don't get a voice, we're not taken seriously, and there's not enough going on for us in the way in which worship is planned and delivered. And so much more attention needs to be paid to that, which on the one hand means that there is attractive worship and teaching and life, an engagement for young people in the life of the Church of England, but at the same time that's not somehow separated off and like a sort of some kind of separate bit of life of the Church of England, that young people need to be mainstream and need to be taken seriously.
Why do you think the number of young people in the church is dwindling?
I think partly because of what I've just said maybe isn't happening enough, and so young people think, well, what's in it for me? And actually, of course, in society at large, I suppose that we're now told there's a generation of young people who are not hostile to questions of faith, but pretty indifferent to organised religion. And so one of the urgent things the Church needs to be doing is say, well, how do we get through that kind of barrier, not of hostility, but of indifference? How do we get through that barrier of indifference? How do we actually reach young people and say, maybe their picture of the Church is not entirely accurate, and we've got to find ways in which we can invite young people. So people like you are key ambassadors, because you can go to places that middle-aged men like me can't go, to reach out to young people and say, hey, this is a really exciting prospect, an invitation to share God's life. How about it?
That's brilliant, thank you. And lastly, how do you feel about the Regeneration project?
Oh.
Excited to hear how the youth are feeling?
I'm really excited about it. I mean, I'm a bit scared because I don't know quite what's going to come out of it, and of course that means we might have to change. And the whole point of having Regeneration Ely is so that we listen carefully, and we maybe have to take a hit and say we're sorry as older people about how we've behaved and how we've pushed young people out or have not taken you seriously enough. So we need to be able to be ready to ask forgiveness if necessary, but also just to be excited with young people to think we're meant to be an all-age community in which everybody flourishes, and we've got a great story to tell about what Jesus has done to transform us and will do to transform us more into the future. And regenerate is what we all need to have happen to us.
Asking you for some information or emails and
Remember to check out the Youth Council on Twitter and Facebook.